This is the guide to have extremely high levels of testosterone in whatever minutes I put in the title, which is probably going to be very short in this video. So if you follow these steps, you're just going to have high testosterone. It's as simple as it is. And not only just high testosterone, you're going to have high testosterone activity. So it's not just going to be higher total testosterone levels in the blood. You're going to have higher free testosterone, you can have less anti-androgens, etc. So the first thing you have to do is micronutrients. Now, since this video is short, I have to condense it all into one word. And with micronutrients, I mean eating foods that are high in vitamins and minerals. So you don't only look at macros, you mainly look at the micros. So what are some examples of foods that are high in micronutrients that is good for testosterone? Steak. And when I say steak, it doesn't have to be literally steak. When I say steak, I mean any kind of fatty animal proteins. The key here is fatty, not lean. So, fatty animal proteins, some example, cow, mincemeat, or even lamb, pork, salmon, fatty fish. See, all of these are fatty animal proteins, and they will help boost your testosterone because all of them are usually very high in zinc. Oh yeah, by the way, with zinc, if you eat oysters have a shit ton of zinc, and it's even more than red meat. So to get your zinc, eat some kind of red meat or oysters. And also has so much other B vitamins and essential minerals. Also has L-carnitine. Now, if you haven't heard of L-carnitine, it basically makes your androgen receptors more sensitive. If you've been following my channel for a while, you'll realize how having more sensitive androgens is way more important than just your testosterone levels. And after the steak, to make it oversimplified, I just want you to eat, let's write it down here, sweets. Literally, sweets. When I say sweets, I don't mean junk food, I don't mean the Snickers bar. When I say sweets, I mean fruits that are high in micronutrients. You need a lot of vitamins and minerals in order to support your testosterone production. You need the building blocks. So, what are some examples of these fruits? Pomegranate. I don't want to fully write it, but pomegranate. Let's go over here. Berries. Berries are extremely high in antioxidants. They're super important for lowering oxidative stress. That's why you need to eat fruits. Kiwis. And etc. So make sure you are eating your fruits because you do need to lower your SHBG by eating a lot of carbs. So if you just eat a carnivore diet with steak, you're going to have high SHBG and the testosterone activity is not going to be good. So the carnivore diet is not good. We need to be eating meat combined with fruits that are high in carbs and antioxidants to basically counteract the oxidative stress. Now, number 2, after you do eat a high macronutrient diet, you need to be sleeping 8 to 10 hours. When I say 8 to 10 hours, I don't mean go to bed for the minimum amount of time. Go to bed for 8 hours because you're not going to have high testosterone that way. You need to be asleep for 8 to 10 hours. So do the maths in your head. If you want to sleep 8 hours, then go to bed for 9 hours. If you want to sleep 10 hours, go to bed for 11 hours. So go to bed 1 hour earlier, depending on how much quantity you want to sleep. And in my opinion, if you're someone who's working out, who's very active, 8 hours is often not enough. I'll say 9 hours is the sweet spot. So you need to go to bed for 9.5, 10 hours for optimal testosterone production. But this again depends on your level of activity and your age, etc. But make sure you stay within this range. Sleep in a dark, cold room. You need to have it dark and you need to have it cold. Because when it's dark, more melatonin, better sleep. When it's cold, you have deeper, more restful sleep and you get into more stages of REM sleep. And REM sleep is a stage of sleep where testosterone is produced. So you not only have to look at the quantity of sleep, but the quality of sleep. So make sure you sleep in a dark, cold room to get maximum REM sleep and maximum testosterone production. Because there's a difference between restful and restless sleep. And number 3, lastly, and a lot of you fuckers will do these two and you miss out on the last one, which is arguably one of the most important things of testosterone. And that is live like a modern day hunter. Now think about what hunters did back in the day. They would wake up, usually not have any food, go out for a hunt, go risk their fucking lives hunting the most dangerous animals, and they would come back at the night time or evening or whatever the fuck and enjoy their meal. So now, in the modern day version, what you gotta do is wake up and you gotta do shit throughout the day. You gotta go outside and accomplish some goals. You need to do something that is challenging to your status or challenging to your life. So for example, competition. So stuff like combat, Combat sports. Combat sports are a very good way to get that hunter-conqueror fire inside of you. Because combat sports is basically life or death. You're competing with another man, and competition is shown to increase the share of the testosterone. So being in any kind of competition, it doesn't have to be combat sports. The biggest recorded testosterone increase was during a fucking chess match. And in the chess game, there was a lot of stakes on the line. So make sure your status is on the line. Make sure it's not just a random game you play with your 6-year-old cousin, because your status is not on the line there. Another thing is, let's say socialize. If you're watching this, you're male. So make sure you interact with attractive women, because interacting with attractive women, having sex, etc. also increases the shit out of testosterone. Because testosterone is only made for two purposes. It's made for sex and it's made for war. So if you compete and you talk to attractive women, then your testosterone will be high. And that's because testosterone was given to us in order to pass on our genes and reproduce. But if you're not talking to any attractive women, if you're just isolated, you're not giving your body a reason to produce high testosterone. Fucking hell, it looks very messy. I don't really have the neatest handwriting. But if you follow these 3 principles, there's a lot more that goes into play. This is like the 3 basic ones that you do need to know. If you do these, you're going to have high testosterone. And if you want to know the exact step-by-step guide, blueprint to high testosterone with extreme amounts of detail, with exact micronutrients you need, the exact macros that you need, what time of day you should eat, even what time you should be sleeping, the optimal sleep environment, exercise, detail on living like a hunter and conqueror. If you want the exact guide, I have a link in the description where I explain the exact step-by-step guide to high testosterone. Because I always would watch these videos and they would say the same shit, but I never got high testosterone until I started following specific protocols. So go check out the link in the description. And this is how I got high testosterone as a 16-year-old. You can have the exact same transformation as me. This is how I used to look like just a few years back, and this is me now. And I'm only 16 years old. So you might be watching this video thinking, fuck, I thought this guy was like 20 years old. And testosterone helps you mature faster, makes you look older and more masculine, etc. Go check out the link in the description. There's more detail there. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.